The term of responsibility basically means duty or obligation to carry out or complete a purpose or task adequately. The task to be completed is either allocated by someone else or created by an individual's own pledge to fulfill. In addition to this, the task usually carries with it a consequent punishment in case of failure. Being responsible again reflects on our capability to make choices, which in turn serves individual and the general interest of the society as a whole. This statement refers to an individual's ability to going out of his or her way to respond to a contagious issue through individual choice. Responsibility can be divided into self and social accountability. The division can be classified further into several categories. These categories can be in the forms of individual responsibility, parental responsibility, social cooperate responsibility, and environmental responsibility. Therefore, this paper is going to explore the description of responsibility under the above classifications and conclude by giving an instance of responsibility. When responsibility is referred to as the authority of acting appropriately with no superior influence and guidance, then it qualifies to be an individual characteristic. In this case, it is not regarded as a forced duty or a requirement that is conferred. This brings out the true meaning of individual responsibility. When a person takes up responsibility, he or she admits accountability for the choices made, since each person is in charge of his or her own life. Personal responsibility is gifted, which means that some individuals possess more of this capability than others. Parental responsibility, on the other hand, is the right and privilege that strengthens the child-parent connection. This does not only mean a particular parent-child connection, as it also encompasses the grown-ups who have major roles in the life of a child. Parental responsibility embodies the expansion of a child's well-being, looking after his or her health together with the child's protection. Parental responsibility again refers to the provision of suitable guidance, representing the child legally, and personal relationship maintenance, standardizing the residence of the child, bring up the child morally, and providing the child with basic necessities. Parental responsibilities usually end when the child reaches 16 years. This, however, does not include the responsibility of guidance provision that ends when the child hits the age of 18 years. The responsibility of basic necessities provision, however, does not end, it only comes to a stop when the parent dies, or the child becomes self-sufficient. Again, parental responsibility as that of personal responsibility is gifted, meaning some parents possess more of this capability than others. Social and cooperate responsibility is a kind of corporate self-directive normally incorporated in business models. Preferably, cooperate social responsibility guidelines would operate as an integrated, self-directing instrument whereby businesses can check and guarantee their adherence to regulations, ethical standards, and other norms. Social and cooperate responsibility is embraced for the impact of business activity on the society, workers, customers, the environment, and all other stakeholders. For a business to be regarded as socially responsible, it has to attain certain goals. These goals include monetary functionality, social investment, and the solving of predicaments. Social cooperate responsibility is essential because, if businesses do not act responsibly, there would be a bad reflection on the business and on shareholders, therefore, reducing profits. Environmental responsibility is an individual or a communal duty of taking care of nature and natural organisms, basically for our own good. Environmental responsibility or environmental ethics encompasses the well-being of humans, together with the protection of nature. This responsibility upholds relative fundamental values of organisms and nature while putting into consideration their interrelatedness with human beings. Therefore, as shown in this paper, responsibility generally means the condition of being reasonable, liable, moral, or accountable. Responsibility is regarded as an ethical issue, especially when done for the common good of society. An example of an ethical case of responsibility is when an officer or a person in charge of a certain office refuses to take bribes. In this case, we say the person has acted responsibly. Everything you need for studies, essay samples, writing tools, and tips, you can find at studycorgi.com.